You'd assume that reading loads and loads and loads is the best way to help your child read, right? This is incorrect. Here's my handy 5 top tips on how to support your child to become a keen and active reader without reading. Just talking, getting them to communicate how they feel, what they're doing, the more language they use, the better vocabulary they use, the more words they will know. You'd be surprised at the amount of parents that are stuck behind screens and children stuck behind screens and forget to actually talk to their children. The more you talk to your child, the better they will communicate, the more words they will have, the better vocabulary range they will actually remember and be able to understand and use themselves. And especially when it comes to reading, they will be able to actually recognise those words because they've used them before. Surprise, surprise, arts and crafts. Support your children to draw as much as possible. After they draw, ask them to write a sentence about what they have drawn. What is this going to help them to do? This is going to help them analyse what they've drawn. Think about it in terms of actually speaking and communicating. They're going to think about their phonics and how to create good sentences that make sense. And of course, they're going to be writing and using their pencil grip to write down those words. We do this in the car all the time, even with my teenager, word association games. You don't need to create or produce anything, it's simply a verbal game. So I might give you a word such as snail. I hate snails, but they have to come up with a word that relates to that word. So for example, they might come up with slimy, they might come up with scary, they might come up with sticky, and as soon as they go around in a group, everyone takes turns, and they have to continue to keep on thinking about words that relate to the first word given. This is a fantastic way to support a reader in the early ages, and even in the later ages, as well. It really improves their vocabulary. Can you read that for me? You know how many times I've actually said to my children, do you know what, I'm really busy, can you just read that for me? I'm a bit busy. So when I'm in the kitchen or when I'm upstairs or when I'm just doing things, even when I'm shopping, I might just say, oh, can you just quickly read that for me? And they'll try their best, even if they are not sure of the words or not sure of how to blend their letters together, they will actually read because they feel like they're helping me out. So just ask your child to read words, even if you know that they can't, let them try. And for those with little learners amongst us, the CVC game. So again, you don't need any apparatus, any equipment. When you're in the car, when you're taking a nice walk, simple CVC words that make sense phonetically when they are spelt out or sounded out. So for instance, k-atta, cat, p-atta, pat, m-atta, mat, ch-atta, chat. Simply you say the phonics, you say the sounds bit by bit and get them to blend them together. I do this with my 4-year-old all the time, and that has really supported him in building his confidence in terms of reading. So I'll just say to him, what does k-atta, what word would that make? Cat. What would ch-atta, chat? And it supports him to realise that all you're simply doing is blending all of those lovely phonics together. And the last one is simply really obvious for some, but you know what? We get busy. Make time, structuring time for reading every single day. You read to them, they read to you. That's as simple as it is. Now, I did say that this would be without reading, but I think I wanted to add this one at the end because from an early age, it's really important that we get our children to enjoy and love looking through books, even if they're not reading. To look through picture books, to look at the pictures, even if you don't read at all, or if they're not reading, that's fine. Just let them look and analyse the images. What do you think's happening in this picture? Why do you think that's happening? What do you think could happen after this? They don't have to read the text because they might find it a little bit boring. They might not be ready for reading, but simply get them to see how words can be associated with pictures as well. This will support them in building their confidence. So when it does come time to read, they're a little bit more aware and ready to link both imagery and words together.